Greetings, what is up, and a very warm welcome to the channel. The sun is shining and the magpie is casting. Coming to you guys once again with another fantastic, hopefully, battle fresh from the top of the Company of Heroes 2 ladder, featuring spawning in the south. It'll be the Vermac pieces of Skeletron, who was featured on the channel recently, is a pretty dynamic, aggressive, idiosyncratic player. A lot of character to this player, and it's just, it's always been a pleasure to cast. So when I saw Skeletron was playing this player spawning in the north, I was pretty hyped. And spawning in the north, it's going to be the United States Forces of Lux Inkaruna. So, yep, just one of the better players. One of the players most at the top of Company of Heroes. So, should be a very smooth, very potent USF operator here. Looks like Skeletron going to go ahead and pick the German infantry doctrine that we are quite used to seeing him pick. Skeletron favouring some of the tactical advantages and aggressive strategies provided by this this commander. We've seen Skeletron get good use through actually most phases of the game. Out of the 250 half-track, out of the 5-man squad upgrade, out of the Stormtroopers. So this commander definitely suited to Skeletron's abilities, let's put it that way. Skeletron, a player who favours getting close with his infantry squads to deal damage. We've seen him get good use out of MP40s, Assault Grenadiers, Stormtroopers, and also a player who enjoys taking dives into the opponent's base if the opportunity presents itself. If there's damage to be done, he'll be dropping on in there with Flame Half-Tracks, 250s, 222s, whatever it can get in there to start wiping out your squads in your base. So, yep. Skeletron, fair to say, probably the only player who has sold me on the German infantry doctrine. I think generally, actually, it's pretty underwhelming, but the way Skeletron uses it really does show off the strengths of this commander, so that's pretty exciting. Looks like Inkaruna here is going to be going with the, who's this guy? Rifle Company. Oh yeah, I remember this guy, yeah. So we get the Easy 8, we get the field defenses, that's the mines, basically. We get the flamethrowers for the rear ash. Sorry, no, that's, yeah, no, it is for rear ash, my bad. You get the kind of sprint for your riflemen, and you get the white phosphorus barrage later on. So what are we on now? It's Blursday, the 8th of May, as lockdown continueth. Here in the UK, we're due for a lockdown update on Sunday, so that's 2 days from now. And upon that date, I imagine our government will be informing us that various elements of the lockdown will be being relaxed. This is basically because our government are interested in making money, and we're starting to see the money-making apparatus of other countries start to spin up. And you know what it's like. You know what it's like when you got a load of kids, and then one of those kids starts doing something that all the other kids want to do. Like, nobody's got the patience. They're all like, oh, we're all just going to start doing it. That's basically how I feel like companies are, like countries are operating right now. I mean, you know, it's not fair. They're making money, Mom. We got to make money too. So yeah. It's the wrong decision. The virus is still rampant in the population. We're seeing the greatest caseloads, the greatest deaths day on day. But yeah, I mean, they might surprise me and just announce no changes for a further 3 weeks. And I think that's definitely the right decision. It's what Scotland and I believe Wales have done, who, for those of you who don't know, the devolution of power in the United Kingdom means that those countries do get to choose their own sort of fate and decide their own laws and stuff like that. So they get to decide how to enforce their own lockdowns. And they're doing it sensibly and correctly. Pretty awesome. But yeah, the problem is like Germany, Italy, Spain, France, various other countries are all just relaxing their stuff, opening up theatres, opening up restaurants, and it's, I mean, whatever. I mean, it's a simple decision, really. Do you want to make money, or do you want to save lives? That's what it comes down to. Anyway, somehow this got super political super fast without me really meaning for it to, just kind of talking about what's on my mind. And, you know, I guess that's what I often do in these early stages of Company of Heroes games. So, yes. So, let's see. Basically, the most standard composition I think I could ever have seen out of Skeletron thus far in the game. But we're gonna have the 250 half-track rumbling on just now, so it's beginning to look a little bit more Skeletron-y. Inkaruna here's got flamethrowers on his rear ash. He's got 2 squads riflemen, got Lieutenant Tech, and that's going to enable him to choose a 50 cal. So, yeah, pretty standard stuff, to be fair. Where's this MG42? Oh, it's been forced out of this building. Right, okay. So, a pretty standard style here from Skeletron. And I reckon, actually, to be honest, Langriskaya is one of the harder maps to be turbo-aggressive on. The bases are relatively difficult to assault, because they're quite small. The machine gun bunkers have, like, massive amounts of overlapping field of fire. And your opponent, to be honest, on this map is always really close to their base, because it's such a small map. Nice overrun here, 250 half-track. This is Skeletron stuff. Breaks 3 squads, that's value right there. Going to be inflicting decent damage onto the riflemen on their fallback. So really nice stuff, actually. Star of Veterancy immediately popping up on the... Oh, sorry, no, that's on the Pioneers, not on the 250 half-track. But still, good effect there, if not the most meaty of damage. Certainly the most meaty of utility. Forcing a lot of squads to fall back. That represents considerable value. You can see Skeletron capitalizing on this. Going to be capturing a lot of the map. Doesn't actually have double fuel or a triple cap just yet, but still, decent income to say the least. We're at plus 63, plus 32 munitions and fuel respectively, over 16 and 10. So the longer this dynamic continues, every second that goes by right now, favoring the Axis player quite considerably, somehow has... Where's this MG42 that's firing? Oh my god, does this thing suppress? Whoa! Oh, wow. I had no idea. Whoa, if you put the 250 in hull down mode, it actually suppresses it. Yeah, it deals suppression. Ooh, my respect for the 250 half-track just leveled up. That's crazy. So, there's going to be a Stuart coming onto the field in just a few seconds here. That will change the balance of power. That's going to break this dynamic. There's nothing really in the Axis roster that can threaten the Stuart. So, that's going to basically flip reverse everything that's happening right now. Wow, the 250 half-track does suppression. Such a cool unit. Way to go, balance team. Love you. Love you guys. Bunker going to be getting built here, but this seems ambitious. I mean, this is a Stuart, so what do we do? Oh, too late to cancel the bunker. I mean, I love trying to siege the American player in their base. Going to even build the... Wow, okay, we're going to spend the munitions to get that. Okay. Whoa, we have to hop out the Pioneers, surely. The Stuart's going to donk this. Oh god, he loses his Pioneers. Oh god, he loses his Stormtroopers. Oh god, he loses a load of Grenadiers. Oh god, it all went wrong. He's even donated the flamethrower. Is that just a... Do we just leave the game here, Skeletron, or are we going to try and play on? I mean, this is horrendous. Is he still just fighting with these Grenadiers? Okay. Oh no. And if I know Skeletron, yeah, he doesn't have like the Mechanized Company. He never seems to go for that. So this is kind of what I was afraid of seeing a lot of the time. He's going for Battle Phase 2, which is optimistic to say the least. So he's going to lose this Grenadier squad. The Stuart could even just drive into the base if it wants to. And now we're down to a Grenadier and an MG42 at the 7.5 minute mark. Wow. Skeletron being just duked on there by Inkaruna. I think it was all great up until the moment we decided to stay here and start building a bunker. Against other factions, perhaps you might be able to do that, but you know your opponent has Lieutenant Tech, and it's definitely going to be a Stuart to break out of the lock. And if you don't have like the Mechanized Company, you ain't going to be able to access your Pack Gun or your 222, which are like basically the two options that can hurt a Stuart meaningfully in the earliest stages of the game. So, I mean, he's still coming in here. The MG bunker is actually still doing work. Pioneer, what are these? Grenadiers with a flamethrower. Oh, they actually managed to pick up the flamethrower. Okay, cool. Gonna do some damage here. They get a Faust onto the Stuart, but you still just can't beat the Stuart, man. Oh my god, he has to rebuild Pioneers because he can't actually even build any tech buildings. Gets incendiary ammo going on the MG42. That's kind of hilarious. To try and deal with the Stuart. Kind of wasting a lot of time having to redeploy that. That is unfortunate. American infantry will now be able to exit the base. The bunker was taken out, so because the MG42 had to change facing, he'll have to fall that back right now. Wow. Well, you don't need me to tell you that 15 supply under 40. Look at these top left. Look at those top right. Looks pretty bad right now for Skeletron. But Skeletron does still right now have field control. That's about to change, but has somehow held on to it with just 2 squads for this long, which is quite impressive, to be honest. Inkaruna opting to throw all of their units out of their base here enabled that MG42 to get a little bit of extra value suppressing and pinning American squads as they moved out. Probably would have been better to send like 2 squads, 2 squads, 2 squads, like, you know, give a bit of an even split on your USF forces. But I'm nitpicking. It's easy for me to say up here in my observer comfy chair. So, alright, what do we do then? Okay, so we've gone for support armor core, so he's probably going to go for the Ostwind like he always does. And that is going to help, but we just have no forces here. I mean, if Skeletron is able to sort of salvage a game out of this, I'm going to be very surprised. Scoreline as near as makes no difference even, so no particular advantage for either player there. So Skeletron's time is going to start running out here. Oh my god, these squads not properly reinforced because he's having to save for manpower. MG42 going to try and do its best on the doorstep of the base here, using incendiary ammo once again. That's only 15 munitions, so it's actually not as expensive as I thought, that ability. Okay, well, that's pretty cool. So he's going to reinforce his units here. Ostwind now on the queue. The Stuart could definitely come in for a dive here. Yep, here it comes. This is the danger. It's just going to have a little nose in here, see if there's any damage to be done, and sure enough there is. The Ostwind's still a ways off. So, oh dear, 2 stars of veterancy now on the Stuart, and there's just, I mean, these Grenadiers are going to try for a Faust, but as long as Inkaruna is not actually asleep at the wheel, then it should not connect. And, oh dear. And as we thought, of course, the American infantry has been busy on the map, turning it all red, going to be establishing a triple cap momentarily, grabbing double fuel as well momentarily. So, oh, the Grenadier is so weak. Oh, the Stuart is chasing. Wow, somehow that Grenadier gets away. That is almost unbelievable. Wow, he's going to run straight out with it again. Risky. What are we doing here? The Stuart has it acquired again. Okay, there we go. The reinforce comes down. So, okay, here comes the Ostwind. So that hopefully enables Skeletron to stabilize. There is a Zook on the Lieutenant, so that's one source of anti-vehicle firepower. Combined with the Stuart means that this Ostwind has to be a little bit careful. There is also veterancy on these riflemen, so yeah, the rifle grenade will come through and donk the Stuart here. Oh no, he gets the fallback straight away. So, okay, yeah, he does have to be pretty careful with this Ostwind. My god, there could be mines out here. I don't suppose... Yeah, no, actually, he does know that it's rifle company, right? Because he saw flamethrowers on the rear ash. So he should know that the ability for the American players to have mines all over the shop is very real. Okay, going up to 2 squads of Pioneers. I like this. He just needs cheap infantry squads that can get out on the map and do stuff. He also actually has enough munitions to be buying more flamethrowers if he wants. So I like this. This is absolutely fine. The Ostwind here in a slightly awkward position, getting bullied around by the Stuart. There we go. The flak cannon going to be sending hopefully the American light tank packing here. Whoa, this Ostwind is getting substantially bruised up in its battle against the Stuart here. Wow, the Stuart's just totally winning this fight. That's a little awkward. The frontal armor at this range, I suppose, just too much for the Ostwind's cannon to be dealing with. And, like, just Skeletron never gets like the armor, like the mechanized company. He just never does. Oh no, now the Ostwind is like really on death's door, but then so is the Stuart, so that one has to fall back. 3 stars of veterancy on the Stuart. Doing damage against an Ostwind represents a lot of value, so that will vet up your Stuart pretty quickly. And thank God he has 2 squads of Pioneers, so he is actually going to be able to repair this Ostwind like pretty rapidly, so that's good. No like the mechanized company though, it's just, oh my god. He just elects to play Vermax without pack guns, like, on the regs, and that is hard, man. That is hard. So he's going to be trailing by at least 100 VPs as his units attempt to move out on the map. I would love to see him buy, like, more... Okay, he's going to go for Stormtroopers. That's fine. Just, I was going to say, he just needs more infantry squads, just core infantry to be out there pushing. So, yeah, Stormtroopers, Panzer Grenadiers, and Grenadiers probably going to be the best choices in those regards. Or just more Pioneers, yeah. I mean, he just needs bodies right now. So, okay, the Ostwind is now repaired. It's going to have a Star of Veterancy in a second, so that will up its survivability by virtue of having Blitz. Weapon racks, I believe, are done for the American player. Because there are 2 Zooks on this squad now. So I think he has weapon racks. Yeah, he does. And oh god, Major Tech is done. I like it. Alright. So we're going to have... I mean, an Easy 8 would close the door on all of this medium armor pretty hard. So that's going to be a nice choice. If Inkaruna opts to save for it, a Sherman is probably fine on this field as well. And just, yeah, how are we ever going to meaningfully access the map? Oh god, these are just 2 Grenadiers. They're basically dead, aren't they? Because they have to fall back through all of this. Oh no. What are those? Those are telemines, actually. Skeletron does have some telemines in an interesting position there. So the Stuart, I mean, there is something it can fall foul of there, so that's okay. White Phosphorus Barrage coming down in a really irritating position here. That's going to force these Pioneers to sort of choke their way back into the base. He's going to start repairing that. Skeletron not building a medic bunker so far. Probably not really had the resources to do so, I suppose. And this is just a desperate affair now. Look at this. 34 supply under 51. Look at these units against these units. That is absolute madness. What is this? That's a Flammenwerfer there that's been dropped. Okay, so he has a... Oh, of course, yeah. I always forget. You can, of course, put a Panzerschreck on Storm Troopers. So that's going to help a lot here. The Flamethrower is dropped. They won't be able to pick that up as well, right? Oh, they will, because it's another special weapon. Ah, okay. Wow, so this squad now has a Panzerschreck, a Flamethrower, and 2 MP40s. That is quite the spice, to be honest. Is that Stuart dead? It is, isn't it? It hit the telemines. Cool. Alright. Something finally going Skeletron's way again. Now, here comes the Ostwind out. All he has to do is bully away the Lieutenant, and he seems to know that. Gets hit by the anti-vehicle rifle grenade, so the Ostwind unable to pursue here, but going to get some more shots into the Lieutenant squad. Would be awesome to wipe out that squad, because, of course, that's where the Zooks are. Uh-oh, that's a major barrage coming down in a great position. The Ostwind actually coming forwards. I guess that makes sense, but now the 50 cal could try for AP ammo. That seems risky, actually. Yeah, he's not going to do it. Okay. Skeletron's on the way towards stabilizing now, but can Skeletron survive whatever the first fuel unit that Inkaruna decides to get out? That's the big question here. Gonna be grabbing a fuel point, so that's fantastic. Wow, you can put veteran squad leaders on Pioneers. I actually didn't know that, because I'm such a bad caster and a noob with no good game knowledge. Wow, so he's got 5-man Pioneer squads now. Alright, the more I learn about this German infantry doctrine, the more I kind of like what I see. It's pretty spicy. Does Jaeger infantry also get this? Jaeger infantry has always been a favourite of mine. Well, it's always been like one of the commanders that I like being well versed in, let's put it that way. So mines are starting to pop out around the map. American rifleman defenses, tactics, whatever it's called, rifleman defensive structures coming out. So that Ostwind is going to have to be careful. There is no metal detector. Oh, it's going to be a Stug. That's very clever. Because the Stug, okay, the Stug fits the bill for what Skeletron needs here in many ways. It deals with almost any target. It is effective against a variety of targets. It also provides, most crucially, the thing that Skeletron needs the most, which is some kind of anti-tank. It is going to be an easy 8 here for Inkaruna. Or is that the... No, that's an easy 8, yeah. So yeah, so the Stug provides anti-tank. It's also effective against a number of targets. Crucially, it's also quite cheap. So... And Skeletron, of course, has been quite resource-starved over this last phase of play. So the Stug actually here is a semi-masterful idea. Skeletron is clearly quite used to playing a support armor core style. Oh wow, this is a cluster of targets. Good God, that Ostwind finding some damage there. It's going to get its second star of veterancy here, and that's going to be massive, because that's when it gets the rate of fire increase and starts really laying out the pain. So, okay, Ostwind is now even more scary, but the Easy 8's going to come out in a second, and it will be able to pursue. And there are no Fausts in this army. So, this Sherman's going to be quite the problem, I think. So anyway, here comes the Sherman. The Stug announces its presence here in mid, but is that a drawback? You don't really want your opponent to know where the Stug is so that they can actually initiate the fight with the Easy 8. You really want it to be the other way around. Oh dear, the Ostwind is well cut off here. He still hasn't seen the Easy 8. So, this could be a problem. Now, we do have Blitz on the Flak Panzer, so that's nice. Run! Oh god, and there's Zooks in the rear armor, and now the Easy 8 can block, and oh god, yeah, that should be a dead Ostwind. And that's so... Yeah, that's brutal for Skeletron. Oh no, he has to fall all of these guys back! What are we doing? Oh god, they're getting crushed. Fall back. Oh no, why are we not falling back? Ah! Seriously, this guy's just been abandoned. Oh no, Skeletron just... A little bit of a mistake there. Gets mowed down by the base defense. Stug here going to be getting some nice shots. The Panzer Shrek on the Stormtroopers as well, chipping in. But will they be forfeit? They have to fall back right through the spicy part of the cone of a 50 cal, and then 2 squads of riflemen, so there should be a squad wipe. Yep, they get gunned down. Now the Stug will be forfeit because the Easy 8 finds its rear armor, and that's game. So, wow! Say what you like about Skeletron, okay? He wins some, he loses some, but I always have fun watching it, and the games always end promptly. And those are actually 2 pluses. Those are 2 check marks for me. So I like that. I like what I see. Great! What a fantastic first game to set us off today. As I continue to use casting Company of Heroes 2 as a sort of crutch for my sanity here in lockdown. Okay. Let's go and see if we've got any other interesting games. So we've got Brosrus. Oh, it's been a hot minute since we've seen Brosrus. Sweet, against Chinese characters. We've got Skeletron again against Hero. So those are both on Arnhem, yeah. We've got Gender Police. Okay. And Coast on Lost Glider. And then we've probably got loads of players that we don't know. Alright, Rob, we are definitely casting Brosrus. Absolutely. Cannot say no to a game featuring Brosrus. Now, there is a little bit of a timer on the start of this game, for which I apologise. As I'm sure some of you who are regular viewers on the channel will be used to, what I'm going to do is step away here, go and put my kettle on, make myself a cup of tea, while this game gets underway, because I don't have any video editing software I like, and I'm really bad at YouTube, and I suck at casting, and I'm not going to edit this video to get rid of this time gap here. So there's going to be an amount of seconds that I'm going to require or request of you guys to fast forward on the YouTube channel. Here we go. And that number is going to be about 211 seconds. So if you could please skip forward that far, it would be much appreciated. I'm going to go put my kettle on, and I will see you all in time for this match to begin. Okay, greetings, what's up, and welcome back. Okay, let's go ahead and introduce these two players. Spawning in the south, playing as the Vermac pieces, it's going to be Brosras. And spawning in the north, playing as the United Kingdom forces, it's going to be Chinese characters, who, I guess I'm just going to call kanji again. I mean, it's not strictly accurate to call them kanji in this context, because, I mean, this is clearly not Japanese, but that's what I'm used to thinking of these characters as. And also, kanji is 2 syllables. That's actually a lot easier to say than Chinese characters, which is more. So I'm just gonna, just gonna call this guy kanji for now. Looks like Brosras going to go ahead and pick a commander straight off the bat. This is what, the Strategic Reserves Doctrine, I believe. Yep. So, alright, this is not one that I've still seen that often, so let's just quickly reacquaint myself here. We've got Assault Grenadiers, Panzer IV, ASF-J, Breakthrough Equipment, Mobile Observation Posts, and the Tiger Ace. Yeah, okay, cool, cool. So, a really interesting and mixed bag of very potent tools there. So, Yeah, that's an interesting set of stuff for sure. Looks like kanji here going to be rolling with Vanguard. No, that's not even Vanguard. I don't. Who's this? Tactical Support Regiment. So this is a Crocodile Commander who gets a resupply operation. Huh. Okay, don't really remember this guy. This is what, Royal Artillery Regiment. Yeah, we remember this guy. This is the Valentine Sexton guy. And Royal Engineer Regiment. Oh, cool. Yeah, the Dustbin Cannon. The Ava. God, I'd love to see that. It's been a hot minute since I've seen one of these. I've got a soft spot in my heart for units that just flump out gratuitously overkilly huge explosions. The ISE-152, the Storm Tiger, the KV-2, the Churchill Ava. All of these units just make me really happy, because it doesn't matter really how good your opponent is. If you can slap them in the face with a giant explosion, you can cause some real pain, and I don't know. That's my way. That's the playstyle for me. So, let's just talk a minute here just briefly about Brosrus. Brosrus was just has been one of the bestest players in the game over the last few years. I remember kind of watching Brosrus's ascension in the halls of Company of Heroes 2, and watching Brosrus just rip through tournaments and things when they were a new player. And yeah, I mean, this game's relatively old now. Brosrus has been playing it for several years. Fair to say they're not really a new player anymore, but still one of the most exciting, most skillful, most slick operator players to watch. And I don't know, I mean, some of you have heard me say this before. Those of you who are regular viewers will remember, but I basically have two favourite flavours of Wehrmacht players, and I feel like actually we're going to get to see them here back to back. My first favourite flavour of Wehrmacht player is the left field transformational weirdo guys who try and play Wehrmacht in a way that doesn't really look like Wehrmacht as you're used to thinking about them. So we're talking about Ostruppan builds, Assault Grenadier builds, German infantry builds, stuff like Skeletron was doing. And it doesn't have to be hyper-aggressive stuff, it's just builds where you're skipping teching, doing stuff in weird ways, using units and structures in ways that we're not used to seeing, particularly out of Wehrmacht, and basically making Wehrmacht not kind of feel like a different faction. And then the other style of Wehrmacht player that I love watching is stuff like Panzergrenadier Angriffen and Brosrus, and like just your average top tier player, but playing as Wehrmacht. And that's that. Oh, did he just suffer a squad wipe? No, okay, sorry. I'm still making my tea right here, just pouring some milk. Yeah, Brosrus here is usually like super slick style. And yeah, we're seeing him use like a balanced approach. I would not expect Brosrus to rely on Assault Grenadiers, but mixing in one squad backed up by regular Grenadiers with an MG42, that is Assault Grenadiers used in their sort of vanilla configuration, if you like, in their standard sort of I'm going to bolster the line but not really be a transformational tactic. And I think the other tools from this commander actually will lean into this kind of like Wehrmacht plus style, where it's just Wehrmacht but better in the hands of a master. So yeah, really looking forward to what Brosrus is going to bring. I don't actually recognize this Chinese player very well. I'm pretty sure I have cast this guy before, to be honest. I don't actually recognize any of these symbols. What's quite funny is, because with Japanese, what they did, and I've talked about this recently in on the channel as well, so forgive me those of you who are regular listeners. I'm going to repeat myself just a little bit here, but what they did with Japanese, they grabbed the Chinese characters because they were like, wow, look, a written language, and then they just kind of tried to jam them onto Japanese, which is a completely different language. But they were like, sure, let's use this character set, and this happens throughout history. You know, a lot of sort of Asian and sort of Eastern languages like use Latin character sets, even though the language is not Germanic and doesn't really relate to anything. It's just because that they've been colonialized and their history means that they've had their language basically been forced to be written in English characters in various ways. Well, yeah, Japanese is kind of a similar deal. They just grabbed the Chinese characters and were like, yeah, sure, let's use these. Let's use them. But that does mean that here and there you encounter characters being written in Chinese, but they basically have the same meaning. They will have completely different pronunciation being used within the Chinese language, and it will be completely different grammar, sentence structure. Like, everything's different. It's a different language. But if you recognize the character, you can tell, hey, this is a sentence that's about water, or is about food, or is about, you know, something or other, because you recognize the characters from Japanese. So even though sometimes I cannot read the Chinese, I could not pronounce it, I can tell sometimes some meaning from just because I recognize kanji, and they're kind of like quite elemental, or like just default kanjis, I guess. Not default, they're just quite simple kanji that convey a simple concept, and so it's the same symbol in Chinese. So yeah, anyway, having said that, I don't recognize any of these, so there we go. To be honest, I don't actually know that many kanji. I mean, my learning stopped around like 200 or 300 kanji, so I need to get back on that, man. Learning kanji is so damn satisfying. Okay, then. Alright, so we've got a 222 on the queue here for Brosserus. That means that Like the Mechanized Company must be done. For kanji here, we've got... it's going to be the Royal Engineer Reg. Yeah! So that means that we are alive to see the possibility of an Ava later on in this game, but that's what I was hoping to see. That is exciting for me. It's going to be an AEC here for the British player, which I would say we're used to seeing more often than not out of UK forces. I mean, the AEC is just... it's a great unit, isn't it? It's one of the things that makes UKF the most different in the early game is they get access to an armoured scout car with a decent anti-armour turret, and like USF and Soviets, I mean, they get a light tank, which has some similarities, but it is a different style. It's a different style of micro, and it's better against infantry, worse against vehicles, and it's just different. So, yeah, this is definitely one of UKF's most idiosyncratic points. Looks like we're going to see a assault officer joining the roster here as well. So that's going to be pretty cool. A little bit of a scoreline advantage opening up here for Brosserus, whose field presence has been quite nice. He's been bringing the spice with his assault grenadiers and this 222. 222 here getting tagged by something I actually didn't see. I think it was an anti-vehicle grenade from the Royal Engineers. So that one's going to have to repair. Luckily there are pioneers here, and that one doesn't take too long to repair. Here comes the AEC though. That one will be on the prowl, looking to convert this kill. And there's not a lot here to stop that from happening. Oh, he rolls a miss. That's unlucky. MG42 is going to assist here to try and do some damage. But the AEC just comes in hard. That's a pack gun though. Oh god, the AEC overextending. That'll be a dead AEC for nothing. Wow. The pack gun rolling a miss. He's on attack ground here because the smoke comes down. Oh my god. Get this AEC out of there, bro. Okay, yeah, he loses it. I mean, clearly that's a terrible trade for the UKF player. This pack gun coming out at a great time. And this is what I mean. I mean, I don't want to criticize Skeletron too hard. Nice, getting a GR34 actually is sweet at this earlier timing. I don't want to criticize Skeletron too hard, but playing Wehrmacht without pack guns is difficult. And a lot of the time, you're going to see games that... oh, nice rifle grenade. You're going to see games that look like that last one, where it's just like your opponent asks you, do you have a pack gun? And if the answer is no, you just die to the light tank. Like, I've played games, I've played Wehrmacht long enough to know, oftentimes, if you don't have a pack 40, you lose the game to the T70 or the Stuart. That just happens. It just happens. Because personally speaking, I mean, I'm not very good at the game. I mean, I'm good enough. I enjoy playing it and I have fun and, you know, all that, but I couldn't play at this level even, you know? Like, I don't know, I might be able to survive 10 or 15 minutes against Brosserus or something, but I mean, I don't know. I doubt that, to be honest. So, what I'm saying is, for me personally, I don't think I could carry off a pack gunless style. And even if I had the skills to try it, I would probably just like to have the pack gun. It's so integral to how Wehrmacht play. And you, in my opinion, you need it to defend against the early light armor threats that most allied factions can present. If there is a faction you can play without a pack gun against, it is UKF, because an unanswered AEC is not just going to kill all your dudes, overrun into your base, and end the game. Very rarely, anyway. So it's not quite so bad against UKF. But then the AEC is still a high-value target. The pack gun is going to be, you know, as we saw in this game, the pack gun looks pretty smart having picked that one off, right? So it's still fine against UKF. And to be honest, you know, UKF can get the Wasp on the Bren carrier, or even just the Vickers gun upgrade, and that can be annoying, so a pack gun can help you there. I don't know. I don't like trying to play Wehrmacht without a pack gun. End of rant. Or not even rant, end of point. So, Assault Officer now on the field, so he's going to be pushing forwards. This this lineup of Tommies getting more and more diverse. The Flamethrower comes down on the Royal Engineers. That's something, of course, provided by the Engineer Division, the Engineer Regiment. So, we're going to see a Marksman. Yeah! Let's get out the Scottish Marksman with the 50 cal, boys. Anti-material sniper rifle. Nice. Actually, isn't it a 55? Sorry, it's a 55 cal, isn't it? It's huge. I've seen one in real life. I've held one. It's like, it is a devastatingly long tube of metal. That is what the boys really is. So, okay, cool. All right, lesser spotted units coming out here. This is exciting for me. And it's just fun watching this guy like gib infantry and put holes in tanks. And to be honest, I mean, the UKF sniper is one of the most idiosyncratic units in the game. Nobody has a sniper quite like this. And he still gets the critical shot at Vet 1, which is nice. .55 cal armor-piercing sniper with his great little Scottish accent. He's such a geezer. Which we bollocked you want shot off first. He's just like such a... I like it. Not that I can do a good Scottish accent. I obviously, as you just heard, can do a terrible one. But I try. Alright, so the GR34 is out. That thing should start vetting up. In fact, already well on its way to Vet 1, so... That's the nature of mortar teams. They fire frequently. They're relatively accurate. Jesus Christ, this air landing field officer in with a good chance of getting a squad wipe there. Brosser's getting a bit lucky there. Slightly late perhaps on the fallback. The assault officer devastating with those silent Sten guns at close range. Am I right in thinking, yeah, those two are Tommies, which means that the actual assault officer is dead. Okay, he didn't last long. Luckily his squad survived, so he'll be able to sort of replenish back out. 55 cal 80 sniper rifle is going to be trying to put some holes in these grenadiers. There we go. So yeah, earning himself a couple of skulls there. Very nice. It's going to be a German marksman in response to this. Sniper war. Oh, this is awesome. And this is actually... Angerville's a bit of a maligned map. I don't always feel like casting Angerville, but it is still a good map. For whatever players will argue and wail about, it is still a good map. You cannot actually complain too much about Angerville. And now, okay, he actually cancels the German marksman. Aw, wow. He's going to go for a 222 instead. I mean, this is essentially the better counter. It's a little bit cheaper, really, and it has broader applications, and you don't have to look after it so hard. So I do kind of prefer the 222 as a counter for the British sniper, but it's not as cool. And, you know, I feel like we never see German marksmen these days. I mean, snipers were changed considerably not that long ago. And by that, I mean like about a year or two ago or something. But relatively in the history of Company of Heroes 2, there have been big changes to snipers more recently. The way, for example, that camouflage and invisibility works has completely changed. Snipers used to be a lot more usable. Now, when you take a shot, you are just hard not allowed to go back into stealth for like 10 seconds or something. It's quite a long time. So you have to be quite careful with snipers. That's, at least I believe, that's my understanding. I could be wrong. Somebody with better game knowledge, which is pretty much all of you, could correct me on that. So, yeah. The German marksman kind of fallen out of favour. He used to be pretty much the best marksman in the game because he had a high rate of fire and was decently mobile and quite, you know, easy to keep in camo and just pick off allied troops. And he was genuinely quite a good investment. I used to build a German sniper every time I would play as Wehrmacht. Microing them was my favourite. I used to actually feel like I'd kind of failed if I didn't have a German sniper with 50 kills at the end of the game. Because that was my challenge to myself when I used to, when the game first came out and for years afterwards, I was primarily a Wehrmacht player. And every game I would build a German sniper just on the basis that if I used them every game, I would get quite good at microing them. So the German sniper, I feel is fair to say, is one of the very few units that I am actually decent at microing. British sniper here is going to get wasted by the 222 coming in for the dive here. There we go. So that 222, he gets the Vickers as well. Rough. Whoa, where's this mortar pit? Holy, we've got a mortar pit set up in a position that's actually quite good. Oh, it's not set up yet, but it's on. No, bro, you have to finish this. The engineers! Ah! Okay, I feel like he's accidentally grabbed his engineers, like maybe off of a hotkey, maybe from up here, and then he's... Oh no, if that mortar pit now gets caught out and destroyed, I'm going to feel so bad for Kanji here. Because this is a good position for a mortar pit. Oh, he's got his engineers hotkeyed, so he keeps pressing a button and calling them away by mistake. You have to finish this. Oh no. Oh well. Unless he really wanted to put them in this building thinking that their flamethrower could get German troops out of there, but he'd kind of already seen the German troops off from there, so okay, yeah, now he's going to try and finish that mortar pit. But he's delayed that so much, if that mortar pit gets like flustered or caught out significantly in the next few seconds, he's going to feel so bad, because until it finishes, it's fantastically fragile. Assault Grenadiers coming in for quite the run here. Tommies, 2-star Tommies here, turbo weak. They're going to get up on top of the Hex Pounder AT gun as well. Okay, but there's enough Tommies here, hopefully, to counter. Pioneers, though, with the flamethrower. LMG-42 Grenadiers chipping in from the flank here. This is some pretty rough stuff.
Supply line's been cut.
Deary me. Grenade comes through. Brosser's paying attention, but still finding some damage. Is that pineapple? Wow, he's actually researched pineapples. That's quite rare as well. Kanji here definitely bringing a unique style here. Patgun is immediately sieging the mortar structure, so that's got to go on to brace. He's got the GR34 in the hood as well, so that's contributing, I believe, to barraging this position. Yeah, it is. And I don't know. I had this feeling when he put the mortar pit down. I was like, isn't this a bit risky? Your opponent, I was going to mention, but the action was too thick and fast. Isn't this a bit risky? Your opponent already has a GR34 that you know about and a Patgun. And you're kind of losing the fight on the front line. Here comes some 9.75-inch flame mortar support here. Ah! Okay, yeah, he lost the game. Sorry. For a second, I thought that my game had crashed. Yeah, Kanji going to call time on that one, and I'm inclined to agree with him. Can we all just agree that UKF mortar pits suck? Take them out of the game and give UKF a decent early game infantry-based indirect fire solution. Please. Please. Like, this is not a playable building. It's so bad. The only time we ever see it get any real value is in super cheesy all-in, I'm going to mortar position you down with a close to your base position, where the UKF player then starts trying to stack up mortar pits. And even that is not a very good strat. I mean, it's cheesy for a reason. Like, can we just get the mortar pit out of the game and give Brits a regular-ass mortar squad, okay? Like, what is the point of this building? And it costs so much, and it's so bad. Anyway, all right. Well, that's going to end that game. The British position gets completely broken. He's been on the back foot for large swathes of the game, lost a lot of value. The AEC died. The British sniper died. Lots of squads getting taken out for little or no return. And finally, with the mortar pit there going down for absolutely nothing, it's going to be a quick and easy win there for Brosserus. So lovely stuff there for Brosserus. Let's have a look. Oh, hang on. Let's just jump back into the lobby here and see if we can catch Brosserus. Oh, wow. Iroha and FK9 Double D on Vilshanka. That's probably going to be a good one. We've got Skeletron versus the Kanji player who we just watched. That's probably going to be a good one. We've got Smiley Face versus Korean from the other day, so that's probably going to be okay. But I'm going to go ahead and jump into Iroha and FK9 Double D on Vilshanka. That one sounds like it's going to be pretty good. Now, we've got a 2-minute lead in on this one, so well, we'll wait for it to load in, and then we'll see exactly what the lead-in time is going to be. Hopefully, FK9DD is going to give us a slightly more balanced showcase of what UKF can offer. Hopefully, not going to try and rely on mortar pits, or if they do, going to put the mortar pits in I don't know. Because that mortar pit in that last game was still in a decent position. It's just that it just got beaten by the stuff that regularly beats mortar pits without, you know, too much difficulty. So, all right, looks like we got 50 seconds lead in on this one. That's not too bad. I'm going to give my voice a bit of a rest for these 40 seconds. So if you want to skip forward, do. Okie dokie, so spawning in the west, playing as the Vermect pieces, it's going to be Iroha. And spawning in the east, playing as the United Kingdom forces, it's going to be FK9's Double D. So, yeah, FK9 Double D is a pretty damn fierce player, living their best UKF life here today. And Iroha, yeah, just another player who's very, very, very capable. And it's going to be a marksman build. Oh, yeah. All right. Oh, yeah. That's exciting. That's exciting. Oh, man, this is sick. I'm excited. I am very excited. Let's get this on. This is so ballsy, though, going for marksman first, because it puts you behind. You are sacrificing resources to do this because you have fewer squads out there capturing, because he costs 360. He has quite a long build time. So, and he doesn't really want to be sitting around capturing points either, to be honest. So, going for sniper first, even before a squad of grenadiers or a squad of pioneers, is quite out there, really. But here he is. So Iroha running with Spearhead, Mechanized Assault, and German Infantry. Pardon me, and German Infantry Doctrine. I'm sorry. Oh dear. Right. FK9DD off running with Special Operations. Special Weapons, Jesus. This guy's Special Operations. No, it's Commando. And Vanguard. Yes, okay, I got one. I don't know what it is about American and British commanders. I'm just really bad at recognizing the portraits.
We have liberated this sector.
Is that a double Vickers build? Wow. God damn, this plays into the marksman really nicely. The marksman counters those quite well, so a little bit lucky there for Iroha, perhaps. I mean, the Vickers can kill the marksman. You have to be on your toes, but it's not the best at forcing the marksman into a fight. So, okay, the marksman reveals himself. So, FK9DD knows that he's going to have to be playing into a German marksman for now, which is annoying. Okay, he needs to... I'm worried about this marksman being under the arc of a Vickers here. I think this is line of sight blocking that little bit though, so he's kind of okay. Now he's going to start prioritizing targeting this down. He's already got a Tommy squad to have to retreat. Was that 3 kills on the... Yeah, 3 kills on the marksman, starting to pay for himself. Starting to bust some skulls. Air landing field officer, or sorry, assault officer, going to be the next pick here for FK9DD, and... I don't know, that seems a little... Oh no. Okay, man, if he was able to steal that Vickers, then this game would be horrible for FK9DD, but he's going to be okay. You can see what I mean, though. The sniper just counters these Vickers teams quite well, because they're so slow, and the sniper can just pick them down, and then before long, you have to retreat the machine gun team, or you risk losing it, you know? And Iroha here, I mean, you know, screening the sniper nicely with these grenadiers for now. Ooh, doesn't want to let this Vickers gun get set up in his flank. Oh, God, there we go. Come on now, the sniper is not camoed. There we go. Gonna start picking down the crew on that one. God, snipers make for such tense gameplay. So this is a rough opening for DD, who's basically unable to profitably engage these grenadiers as long as the sniper is supporting them, even with the Vickers guns, which would usually be a great match for these grenadiers. So that's very interesting. And you can see the German forces are taking disproportionate areas of the map, like on the back of the fact that the FK9DD just can't really fight. Not yet. So, alright, company command post is... Sorry, platoon command post is done. AEC research on the way. And of course the AEC is a decent counter to snipers, so that makes a lot of sense. The other alternative that we could see, but we don't tend to see them any at all these days, is the universal carrier. Now, have they been nerfed in some way? Have they been made worse? I don't know. We just never seem to see them these days. Or do they just fall too much into the shadow of the AEC? Because it's like, you know, the AEC costs, what, just 60 more fuel and a tad more manpower. I mean, so if you're going to be building a fast-moving vehicle, the AEC offers you so much more, and it actually has a real chance of scaling into the late game. Whoa! What is this assault officer doing? Wow, he was feeding in a little bit there. I was a bit worried that he might lose that. DD not taking the best of engagements here. I mean, I know it's hard to do when your opponent has a Wehrmacht marksman, but anyway, bunker is complete in the base, but the munitions only just now there for the medics. So despite the fallback, the German sniper having to come back out onto the field in a wounded state. We'll see if that's going to be material as this game moves on. I have taken the sector! I am the sniper! Getting mine arse out of here! God, I see. Also, I'm so familiar with all of his voice files because of the sheer amount of sniper micro I've done over the years. I mean, he's up to 15 kills. That's pretty cool. Here comes the AEC. And if it's able to quickly surprise this sniper and get up on top of him... Whoa, these Tommies are just staying here. That's a squad wipe, maybe. He could use the incendiary round. Oh, he doesn't have the munitions because he had to buy medics. AEC! Okay, there comes the fallback. That's a good fallback. Yeah, the AEC won't actually be able to pursue him. 222 is going to be the build next. Faust connects with the AEC, slightly annoying for DD, who is falling behind on the resources and a little on the scoreline. Building a 2-2-2 into your opponent's AEC is an interesting choice. Holy spoons, those Tommies did get picked off. I missed that. Oh yeah, here they are. Did the sniper just shoot him? I don't know what happened there. But those Tommies did did get picked off. I think the sniper did actually just get the connecting hit for the kill. It's a bit lucky for Iroha. FK9DD having a tough game here. Oh god. Oh no. Uh-oh. Alright, there's a Vickers gun here. Thank goodness. The air landing... Oh, sorry, the assault officer gets saved. Every time I see this emblem, I know it's different to the air landing officer, but it's so very similar that my brain is just like, air landing, even though I know he has nothing air about him. This is just the assault officer, but still, it's like, my brain is just like, air landing. Okay, so boys from Wales going to hook up with the AEC, get that one repaired. Man, playing as UKF in the early game is such a struggle sometimes, especially if you get off to at all of a bad start, because all their stuff just costs a bit more than everyone else's, and it's like, if you get behind, because your stuff already costs quite a lot more, it's like, it just feels so hard. You just feel so overwhelmed and outnumbered, and like, you feel like the things that you need to buy just take you so, like, just a little longer to get, and that can be crucial, you know? If you're like, I'm going to die unless I build a Hex Pounder AT gun, it's like, oh god, it just takes me so much longer to get because everything has already cost more manpower throughout the game and so forth. Anyway, Vickers gun set up in a reasonable position here. 2-2-2 though, and Flamethrower troops going to get up on top of it. Suppression is good across this this infantry. Looks like the boys from Wales going to run in and try and get some Sten gun damage here. The AEC is chipping in here, but the engine on that has actually been rebusted. So that's a bit annoying. The marksman got taken out somewhere. Oh god, I missed that because I'm so good at casting. What the hell? I mean, there was a corpse here. I think it was there that he got taken out, but... Alright, well, the marksman goes down. I think that marksman just about breaking even, had about 15 kills on it, so that's probably about getting on for 360 manpower's worth of damage. But obviously you're not just doing it in terms of... I mean, looking at the value of that marksman in terms of resources is completely misleading, because he did dominate the early engagements, force many British squads to fall back, not to mention getting a wipe on a Tommy squad and threatening wipes on other squads. And, you know, the value is... You cannot just look at the numbers when you're assessing the value a marksman has had. So, yeah, there we go. Tommy squad going to be next out the gate here. Why is that not building? Oh, because the 5-man squad upgrade is in the queue ahead of that Tommy squad, that's why. Alright, so he's going to rebuy the marksman. Alright. In for a penny. In for a pound. We've got veteran squad upgrades coming down on these grenadiers now, so G43s and additional durability is there. That means that German infantry is going to be the pick from Iroha. Double D still with commander flexibility. Open the choice there. Yeah, Sharpshooter has arrived. Oh my god, MG! 9! Yeah, so Vickers here, gonna start getting picked down by the Axis marksman. Assault officer in the hood though to deflect him. He's gonna try and take another shot here. Bonk. Nice. These grenadiers probably need to GTFO. The air landing officer just does... Sorry. The assault officer does good damage. Is he going to get this? Should do, yeah. Okay, that's a horrible loss. That's a horrible loss for FK9DD. Oh, God. Oh, no. A machine gun is just what Iroha needed. He has everything else that you need at this stage of the game except a machine gun squad, really. And a Vickers gun is a hell of a machine gun to pick up. Oh, no. That represents such a transfer of strength from FK9DD's roster into Iroha's roster. If we can pick up this Grenadier squad, that helps, but it's a bit of an ask right now. The AEC not really tracking, so yeah. And there is a pack gun now, so the AEC has to respect that. In fact, it's down on 1-hit status. If he loses this AEC, I feel like this game's kind of over. Oh, good God. You can probably go ahead and leave the game now if you're FK9 Double D. You can't give your opponent 2 Vickers guns. Oh, no. He just doesn't have any units left now. He's actually grown his opponent's army so massively. Definitely grab the Vickers gun, though, or yeah, he'll grab it with Grenadiers, maybe. Or he may wait for some Pioneers to come and grab that.
That's everyone. Grenadiers ready.
I mean, I don't want to say that this game's over before it is, but this has been a horrible game for FK9 Double D, and I'm not saying it's horrible because FK9 Double D is making loads of mistakes and stuff, although I'm sure that they would agree that they could have played better. Oh no, yeah, he gets that Vickers gun. Okay, here comes the glider. It's going to be Special Operations Geezer. Commando Regiment! Good God, it's going to be Commando Regiment. It should be obvious as well, because this guy's literally wearing a green beret, like... So, okay, here comes the Commando glider. Commandos get inserted into quite a spicy position, actually, able to immediately stack up some damage onto the Pat gun. Going to threaten that one, but they are themselves being shot at by the scout car and a lot of other stuff, so don't overstay your welcome here. Okay, go run! That is a fairly late fallback. A lot of Grenadiers and stuff here to try and stack some damage onto the retreating Commandos, but I think they're going to actually sneak away just about. Yeah, just. Jesus, that was close, though. The glider gets gibbed relatively quickly, and now the boys from Wales, I mean, that's a squad wipe, probably. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. You can see FK9 Double D is trying, but this game's just gone into such a horrible place that it's like...
A capture point is being overrun.
You know, it's like... It's a pretty bad match right now.
The enemy cut our supply line.
It's like trying to fight fire with paper here.
Damned enemies trying to take
Oh,
a
as I
place.
recline my seat into a
Engineer unit
more
is ready for
relaxed
action.
position. Oh no, he didn't even finish reinforcing the commandos. Did he not have the manpower? Oh no.
He's looking a bit squiffy.
Actually, you know what? Somehow, though, for all this, for all the terribleness that has been inflicted on FK9 Double D this game, he's actually leading by like 80 odd tickets. So, does actually have some time to give, and some time, I should say, to sort of get back on his feet. Man, what a rough game, though. So, okay, has a Tommy squad on the field at last. Therefore, able to actually get some value out of his 5-man squad upgrade. I suppose it applies to the Royal Engineers, but yeah, you know. Hmm. 33 supply under 59. Look at the top left, look at the top right. Feel the yikes. Support armor core just now finishing. Basically enough fuel, actually, to start taking choices. So we're close to Panzer IV money if that's what we want. Panzer IV looks fine on this field, to be honest. Finally rewarded for my skills.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Okay, I'm really sorry. I'm going to have to pause the video and go. That's my doorbell. So, okay, I will come back in, like, literally, I'll set a stopwatch. I'll come back in 5 minutes from now. So if you guys just skip forward 5 minutes on the YouTube channel, I'm really sorry about this. I've been expecting this to happen, though, at some point today. I will be back. Sorry about this. Greetings, hello, and welcome back. Sorry about that. I know it's super unprofessional just to bail on a cast for 5 minutes right in the middle of it, but when needs must. Unfortunately, real life do be like that sometimes. Gets in the way a little bit, but now I'm back, and we can take another crack at casting this game. So, Panzer IV is about to hit the field. Looks like FK9DD has managed to get to Company Command Tech and is going to go for a Cromwell here, so... I mean, is vastly, horrendously outnumbered and to some extent outgunned. Weapon racks are done though, so we've got Bren guns appearing on these units, so that's pretty cool. But I mean, this is going to be such a tough battle. Somehow still ahead for now on the scoreline, but the triple cap is established for Iroha, so that luxury of time that FK9DD had is going to be eroding away rather quickly here. AEC up to 2 stars, that thing's still doing work on the field, going to be policing some grenadiers down here in south. Bren gun, Tommy's getting pinned down ironically by a Vickers gun. 2 Vickers guns being in this Axis composition is like the most disgusting thing I think I've ever seen. It's horrible. Actually, you know what, it's not even close. We see more horrible things all the time in this game, but still, it's pretty rough. So, okay, here is the Panzer IV, and the, whoa, this should be coming straight in. Here comes the Cromwell. Actually, there's a world where this AEC and this Cromwell can actually get set up to hammer this Panzer IV a little bit here. He's declining to engage into them for now. Tank Commander finishes. Wow, P4 coming in now. Oh, but the Pat gun's already set up, so the AEC will be dead. Oh no, and the Cromwell likewise. Is that 2 Pat guns he has? No? Oh no. Alright, that's over. Okay, well, okay, FK9DD, you gave it your best shot. Okay, well, I'm really sorry I delayed the ending of that game by 5 minutes. If I'd have known that the game was like a minute away from ending. Well, I still had to go because real life, but anyway, there we go. Bit of an anticlimax, I suppose. Those were 2 decent players. I was really hoping for a good game there. So we're gonna hop out into the live game lobby, I think, and just try and cast one more. Hopefully that, I mean, assuming that there's like any kind of acceptable matchup out here. So we've got Desman and Caesar, that's probably okay. The Sloth. You know what, there's actually nothing super great to cast here. Yeah, everyone seems to have bailed, so... I mean, I think that kind of concludes today's cast then. It's a little unfortunate. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess it'd be like that sometimes. That's kind of part of the hazard of casting live games from the live game lobby. I like it because it's tense and exciting, and you never know what you're going to see, and it feels like you're casting something real and in the wild. But it does mean that you cannot always predict the quality, quantity, length of games that you're going to be able to get on a given day. So a little bit of a shorter cast here today. I'm sorry for the disruption in the cast as well. That's really unprofessional, but so am I, so that's fine. And yeah, I mean, thank you very much for choosing to spend your time with me here today. I'll be just continuing to cast on the regs, I reckon, because I ain't got nothing better to do. I mean, well, I do, but it doesn't take much of my time each day. So like, yeah, so I'll be here casting. There's a decent chance as well. I mean, my new hardware hasn't arrived, so I am like reluctant to just go back to streaming straight away. But like, I might just go and just cast some magic like right now. I've been meaning to get back on the MTG arena. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But anyway, I'm blabbering on. Thank you very much for spending your time with me today. And this for now, Magpie842 signing out.